Hello. Hey, everyone. Jacob Haddon here, Mortgage Consulting Group, your mortgage strategist and broker. Today, we're kicking off a mortgage education series, look behind the scenes with mortgage brokers and how things actually work. Now, why this can save you time, money, and relieve stress or make the home buying process less stressful for you. A mortgage broker is a licensed professional who works independently, has several banks, lenders, wholesale on a wholesale basis. Some are credit unions, and with an access to a wide network of wholesale lenders. Think of us like a personal shopper for your mortgage. Instead of being limited to one bank's product, we have hundreds of wholesale options. We're not tied to quotas, commission structures, or one institution, right? So that means we're truly working for you. We don't have a big quota to hit, so we're not that high stress, high pressure sales. Obviously we want to get time back, get commission, get paid for what we're doing for our time, but we also work with the customer and don't have to have that extra overpressure. Think of us as your mortgage matchmaker. Tell you a story back when I was in high school. I know I had this friend. She, let's just call her Liz. And I was like, oh, Liz, let's just call him Fred. You like Fred over there, huh? So I introduced him, and I think they're still together today. So I was a kind of a matchmaker in high school. And I feel like I'm a matchmaker now in my career, and it really just is something that just brings me happiness and joy in my career. So I love doing it. Now, we can work with first-time home buyers as mortgage brokers, self-employed borrowers, and your investors that are buying multiple properties, looking at maybe fix and flips or long-term holds, looking at short-term rentals to your long-term tenants that are going to be there on a lease basis for 1 to 2, 3 years. And basically these folks have been turned down by the big banks possibly. So we can come in and find a lender, an investor on our wholesale list that maybe that loan is perfect for, and that's where we're making that match. And it could be a bad loan for the banks, or at least not a bankable loan, and it could be a perfect loan for us as a wholesale channel, broker to the wholesale channel. And if one lender says no, don't give up on it. Keep going after it. We're not stuck on that one lender. Even on the broker channel where I'm going out and finding wholesale lenders, I'll go to 3 different wholesale lenders. After they've initially looked at it, and I've submitted it to one, and they find something weird about it and don't like that specific item, I'll take it to the next wholesale lender with that at the front of the line, saying, this is the reason the last lender turned it down. Are you able to do this? And oftentimes I only have to pivot once and get that loan closed. Now, as far as pricing goes, it is a hot topic. Brokers on average save customers over $10,000 per deal than banks do. And that's on your conforming, your standard deals. Now, if you're in a jumbo category and you have a large mortgage, you're looking at $1 million plus, super jumbo, $5 million plus, you might get a bank that'll come in and make special offers on that situation. So that's something obviously wholesale lenders won't be set up to do. Not every one of them will be, but there might be a few. So we can always compare that. And I have contacts at several banks in Denver that I can help, and throughout the country, that I can help get people in front of, so that you can go get that bankable rate for that high net worth deal. Now, as far as a bank, say, is offering you 7.25%, well, we might find 6.875 at a wholesale lender with fewer fees than what you're going to pay at the bank, especially if it hits that right sweet spot loan amount. It's a small difference, but it could save you tens of thousands of dollars over that 30-year period on that mortgage. Your personalized service is key, understanding your goals, not just the numbers, but digging deep into what you want to accomplish, how much you want your payment to be, and do you want to live in this home long term? What are your plans for that? make sure we're building in that right strategy for you. Recently had a client come to me. It was turned down from a local bank and just had a tough time going through their process because they weren't sure why they were turned down. They expected the loan to go through, and then it came back. They couldn't get qualified. I worked with them, helped them build their credit through a credit repair company, credit consulting company, and they were able to get their score up, obviously with a little bit of pay down on some credit card balances, but that increase in the score, as well as some other debt that we got taken out, was able to get them qualified for that mortgage and close. So it's powerful to be, and that's just one of many examples that I'll continue to share with you guys here. But that shows you kind of that flexibility option that a broker will have over a bank. And likewise, if you're working at a bank, you should be thinking, some banks, the big banks, turn down 2 out of every 3 loans that they see. It might even be higher than that. And you should be thinking, is there a broker in town that can help this customer? Because just telling them no and just telling them hit the road, that's kind of not meeting your customer where you want to be in a cross in your cross sell. You're basically, as a banker, you're offering checking accounts, you're offering savings, you're offering all these different products for somebody, but then the mortgage doesn't quite fit for that client. Well, you don't have a huge incentive to refer it out, other than the fact that you could continue to grow that relationship with that customer of the bank. So getting them with a mortgage broker that can help is key. Oftentimes, I've been able to successfully partner up with many mortgage bankers that see the value in that and what I bring, and just helping people get approved for loans that were turned down, that maybe that's a bad loan for the bank, but a good loan for a wholesale lender. So allow your brokers to help you get through those and build those bank customers for life, build the clients for life for both sides, and create a win-win situation in that. Here's the key. Choosing the right mortgage, isn't about getting that initial approval every time. It's about setting up your finances for the long-term wealth, for your relationship with the contacts that you use. As a mortgage broker, I help clients find the right structure, maximize leverage on investment properties, your fix and flips, or your DSCR, or your full doc investment property loans. We use low money down. You're trying to conserve your cash, avoid unnecessary mortgage insurance. If you don't have that 20% equity in the property, buy it with a short-term loan and then turn around and refinance. And ideally, you'd have that 20% equity there if you buy it right. Refinance, you're going to tap into the equity and get lower payments. Ideally, if you refinance, you're going to pay some fees. You want to make sure you're going to save on the refinance and do it in a strategic way, so you're not just refinancing for no reason. And there's about a rule of a 1% drop in the rate when you're refinancing to actually save enough money to cover the closing costs. What you want to ask is, what's my break-even period for this on the refinance? How long is it going to take for you to recoup those costs that you spent on the closing of that loan? And sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's up to 4 years. I wouldn't go past 4 years. That's the general rule of thumb, is you don't want to go past 48 months on the time to recoup the savings on a refinance. And, I'd say what we do best as mortgage brokers is we engineer mortgages for your wealth, not just for the approval. So if you ever thought about mortgage brokers as just the middleman, think again. We're advisors. We're here to negotiate for you on your behalf, get these rates down. We're going to strategize with you, look at that exit strategy, look at the long-term period that you're looking to hold this property, what you want to do with it, what you want to pass on to your kids. And, we're on your team. You got to buy your first home. We work with tenants to help them qualify to maybe buy the place they're renting, if the landlord will help them with that. Refinancing, we're helping people scale investment portfolios. I have some amazing products I would love to talk to you about on the expand your rental portfolio or buy properties under market and cash out with no seasoning. on a DSCR or a new HELOC loan, home equity line of credit, second mortgage, in first position, and use that to continue to grow your wealth and your real estate portfolio by charging it up, paying it down as you buy and sell property. It's an easier path, it's faster and more profitable for people. So what I'd like to say is if you want to learn more about options that are there available for you, you can message me directly here, schedule a discovery call. You can go to my website, actually. It's the fastest way to book a time with me. It's mortgageconsulting.group, and go to book now to get on the calendar. And we'll dive into how the loan structure will affect you, your long-term cash flow goals, your long-term financial goals. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and stay in tune here and look for new content to be released regularly.